Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan.
What's going on, guys? Today we're going to make a little bamboo planter on the top of our angelfish aquarium tank, right dude?
Yep.
Show us what you got there. Tiny little tube. You can buy these at pretty much any kind of aquarium store. This is a smaller diameter one. This is a 5/8 because we used a thicker, whoops, Jack. We used a thicker one for Brutus's tank that we did a couple of months ago, right? We did a video on that.
Yep.
And the bamboo kind of slid down a little bit. We just happened to have those, so we used them. But we were there recently. We did get a whole bunch of stuff because we had those baby Galaxy Plecos, right? And we took them up there and traded them in, and they gave us a whole bunch of stuff, and this was just one of a few things. This actually only cost about $5. We're going to show you guys how very easily you can add this to the back of a tank, because what's this bamboo doing right here, man, huh?
It's getting big. Yeah,
It's getting crazy. So we're going to set this up with a bunch of different little planters on the back. As this bamboo continues to grow, it's really easy. You just trim it and plant it in the back. It'll kind of hang down here in your tank and grow roots. So here we go, guys. Let's see how to do it. Okay, we're going to do a little update on this guy real quick, though, just to show everybody how it's been going. Things have been going very well. These angelfish are doing magnificently, just happy as ever. You can see when they hit the right kind of light, that blue really shines through. Look at this guy right here. Look at the streamers on some of these guys too, huh? So obviously we have the little under gravel lights on a little remote. You can see those coming through. You can't see them shine really good, obviously, unless it's nighttime and the lights are off. Look at that guy right there. What a beauty, huh? Now the Galaxy Plecos are doing good. We did leave the two big caves on the outside, but we did take those two little smaller Pleco Caves out. They were just too small for those guys and they didn't like them. We actually put those over into the Green Lantern tank, and we're going to be actually doing a planter lid on that one as well coming up, so don't miss that because we haven't done an update on that tank in a long time, so that's going to be cool. You can kind of see those little Pleco Caves over there, though. We'll be showing you that. Now, these guys are doing awesome. There is one female and two males, but Jack noticed the one male has been totally hanging out inside here in the tree. We actually think that he and the female, you can see the female's tail right there, that they've actually laid eggs inside of the tree. They're not really letting this other male in there. The other male is bigger than this one. You can see the female right there, that's her tail, and the male is kind of up in there. Oh, you can see the tip of his tail. And he, we think, may have babies in there because he's not coming out or letting anybody in. And if they have babies in there, there's not a lot we can do about it. We'll probably just let nature take its course, see what happens. As far as the Anubias, look at the Anubias roots. Isn't this amazing, dude? Look at the roots on this one Anubias here. This is like nuts. Look at that. They're almost all the way down to the ground. So the Anubias on this tree are really coming back. After we had the leak and we had them in a thermos, some of them kind of died off, but they're coming back and they're doing pretty good. Now you may notice that we have some Anubias kind of hanging out down here, floating around, and then a whole bunch up here. One of the other things we did with our store credit from those baby Galaxies, got a whole bunch of Anubias, right?
Yes.
One of the things that Jack wanted to do, because we kind of had the avatar, right? You see the avatar rocks over there in the big tank. That was something we did a long time ago, is we thought, hey, this is an avatar angel tank. We want to do more of an avatar theme. And since it's so tall, we're actually going to be making some little custom avatar rocks here. We're going to be planting Anubias coming out the top of them, and they're going to be hanging down. Remember, like about a year ago, we got that fluorocarbon. This stuff right here. We got special
fish wire
cord because you can kind of see that cord hanging down from that one. And some people that watch our channel, Titus, has a fishing channel. We'll put a link in the description. I always forget the names of stuff when we're shooting videos. And then one of the other guys, Steve, that watches our channel, he has an RC channel and also a fishing channel, but he does biking and fishing, PH or something. Anyway, I always draw a blank. We're trying to do this, but we will put links in the description. These guys are awesome, expert fishers, and they suggested using a fluorocarbon, so we're going to try this out. We're going to be hanging these stones in this area, 3 of them. So that's going to be a future project. But first, because this bamboo's going so crazy, we want to do this. So basically what we did is this stuff's all going to be in the future. These little plastic guys that we put on the back here, we're basically going to drill some holes in them, and we're going to probably silicone instead of using glue. we're going to silicone some pieces of that tube, here it is, of this tube right here, onto there so that the bamboo will fit real easily down in there. And then one of the other things that Jack did is, yeah, do that again real quick. There you go. So the background, we kind of had on a switch with those Christmas lights, which wasn't incredibly difficult to grab, but on the side, this was a little Christmas light thing.
Yeah, we've had this for a while.
We had it for a while. We took it off of something we had anyway. We basically plugged it into there. And the cool part is this doesn't have to be anywhere near it. It's kind of like a garage door opener.
Yeah.
It'll hit it from like far away. It doesn't have to see like an eye. On this one, it has to actually see like an eye. Yeah, so we can just be sitting at the table. We can hit that remote and turn that on and off. I'm going to back up and just hit that again just so you can see. Isn't that cool how that hits against the wall like the background lights? So anyway, the starry background came out really cool. Again, with all these things in here, you're not going to see a ton of it. But if you're looking at it from a side or whatever, and it's not meant to be a total, figure on its own. It's just supposed to be an accent. But you can see there's tons of Anubias here. They're doing awesome. They gave us a really good deal on those at Best of Pets. And there is going to be Avatar things. But let's get in there. Let's just drill these holes real quick. And we're going to silicone these tubes on here. And after they dry for a day or two, we're going to come back, trim this bamboo, show you what it looks like. All right, so we took those plastic pieces of trim off and we just kind of pushed this glass over. Obviously, we don't want a bunch of stuff splashing from the air bubbles and everything over here because this silicone is going to take a day or two or so to dry. So we're just going to kind of push it up like this. We're going to take you over to the laundry room here and kind of show you how we're doing this. Okay, so super easy, guys. We basically marked them about every 4 inches. So from the ends, so since they're like 24, there's only going to be 5 of them. We just kind of wanted to spread them out, make them even. These are a little bit different. So these we put closer to the end and these we put closer to the front. You're not really going to be able to tell when you're looking at them straight on. But we just didn't want to buy another one since we had an old one. You definitely, to drill through plastic, can use any bit. This just happens to be a glass bit. We like it because, as you can see, it's almost like the perfect size. So when we cut these and silicone them on there, they're going to just fit like perfect on that hole. See that? So that's going to be really neat. So basically just, I did the first couple here. Jeff's going to go ahead and finish. And again, guys, just point down here in the sink. Always put a screen or something. You don't want your plastic going down your pipes. So we got a little screen there. And then we'll kind of throw that in the recycle when we're done drilling. So let's drill these up and then we'll silicone these on. Okay, so those are all done. Just wanted to kind of show this again. Your bamboo is going to be about 1/4 of an inch in diameter when you trim it. Those little pieces that come off the top, this is 1/2 inch, so you're going to have more than enough room. And then this is 5/8, so it's a little bit bigger, so it's going to fit around the outside of this hole. Again, you do not need, of course, to use a glass bit, but we just happen to have some, and it just works easier. You can do this in glass too, so that if you have a glass back, you could easily put some holes in your glass top. If you don't have plastic at the back, obviously this is a little easier, but drilling through glass is not difficult. We've done a lot of videos on it. If you have a little sink like this, little laundry sink, you can run some water over it and very slowly and easily kind of drill through a lid and put some holes in there exactly like this. Again, we have done numerous videos on drilling through glass. Not a difficult thing to do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a quick little hacksaw. We're going to cut this off into sections, and then we're going to come back and silicone them onto this. Like butter. All right, there's the last one. Jack did them all, but that last one was kind of hard, holding that last piece. So basically we got 5 for each side. We have 10. And then what we did is we just cut the rest of these up. We're going to have 6 more that we're going to end up using for the Green Lantern tank when we do the planters on that one. So we're just going to kind of set these aside, save them for that project. We're going to go ahead and silicone these guys on now. Now, as far as the silicone, again, always get something that says 100% silicone. Again, this is not going to actually be in the water, but it is still going to be right on the lid, and with the humidity and everything, you don't want something that's going to break down or have some kind of toxins in it. Don't ever get anything that says like mold, anti-mold or anything like that, because that'll have chemicals in it. You know, we actually get this at Drug Mart for relatively inexpensive. It's like $3 for a little tube, so it's perfect for projects like this. You don't have to get like a whole caulk tube. Here's the other cool part about these little guys is, you know, they're kind of sealed like this. You take this end off. We actually just cut the end off with the saw real quick since we had it here. And they have this resealable type of thing, so you can like reseal it, and that really works well. And so when we go to do the other tanks and do some other projects, we'll be able to have plenty of this left and it won't go bad. And they have lids that you can put on caulk and things like that. It's just way less wasteful. All right. Okay, real simple, guys. Just giving this little squeeze. You certainly don't need a lot. Again, this does not need to be sealed or anything. You could probably use super glue. We did use super glue on Brutus's tank. We just felt like this would be a little better. We had this, and it's actually cheaper than super glue, so where we buy it from anyway. So you just put a little ring around the outside like that, and you just set it right down on top of that hole, and just kind of squish it around a little bit, make sure the silicone kind of touches, and that's it. I mean, it's literally that simple. This one's a little slanted, so I'm gonna actually lean it kind of forward against the slant. Again, they don't have to be perfect by any means. And then what you do is the bamboo is going to slide right down through here. The roots will come out the bottom. So we're going to finish putting all these guys on. You want to do a couple, man?
Sure.
Yep, there you go. You're just squeezing it as you turn it. We got 4 of them on this one done. And then there'll be a 5th one, and then we'll knock out the other one. All right, they're all done. We're going to let them dry for about 24 hours. Tomorrow we'll take a look at them. We may give a couple of these guys a tug and a pull just to make sure they're cool. If they seem loose or anything like that at all, we can add a little bit more silicone, just reinforce around the outside. And then after that dries for about 24 hours or so, we'll pop them back on a tank. So this will be a few days for us, but just about a second for you guys. We'll be right back. Okay, while that silicone's drying, just thought we'd show in here. We did put those little Pleco Caves in the Green Lantern tank. We have long-finned albino bristlenose plecos that are, you know, quite a bit smaller than the vampires. They've already made a home in it. They've only been in here for like an hour. There's one of the super red long-finned bristlenoses. And then over here on this side, we put the other one. Oh, you can see super red right behind it there. And then there's another long-finned albino right here. So yeah, these guys are starting to finally like come of age. So we thought we'd put those caves in here for them. Look at that beautiful long-finned super red right there. So we've got quite a few long-finned albino and super red bristlenoses in here. There's a lot more of them. They just kind of hide in the back and stuff. So hopefully they'll utilize these. We just kind of put them in there like that. So we'll be doing a follow-up on this tank and everything soon too. All right, guys, it's been a couple of days. We're going to show you how this came out. We went ahead and put it back on top of here. Jack's got his awesome little trimmers, right? We're going to trim a piece of this bamboo, kind of show you how this all is going to work out. All right, so here's what they look like, guys. We got all these little tubes, and there's 5 on each one of these backs, and they're siliconed on, and we just kind of popped them back on. You can see we put little holes for the cords to come through in that. And this is a very common little splash guard that comes on most tanks. Again, if you don't have something like this, you could certainly drill through the glass. We've done lots of videos about that. But honestly, it's a lot easier to just buy one of these. They're only about $3 or $4, I think, at our LFS. And they come 36 inches, so we would have to get 2. We actually had one on that side, so we only had to get 1. And you can see we have 5 down there and 5 down here. And let me kind of look through. You can see that they're kind of steamed up there. And as you see down that hole, goes right on through to the water. So what Jack's going to do here, now again, we have a bunch of Anubias floating in here because we traded in, you know, some of the guys we had, and that's going to be a separate project that we're going to do. All these guys think we're feeding them, so they're hanging out here. Aren't they looking beautiful? Wow, look at these guys. They're so blue and awesome. So what Jack's going to do is we're only going to trim the one today. So this big tall one that's sticking out the top here, because it's getting ready to touch the light. So you're just going to trim that one off right there. And we're just going to take it and kind of leave a couple inches of it. See how easy that is to trim? You could honestly just use like scissors or whatever. So what he's going to do is those last few leaves, he's going to kind of take them off. Yeah, probably one more. What that does is that's going to stop that from kind of getting in the thing. You're going to start in the corner, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of putting it in, right in through there. And you can see how we made that little tube. Look how easy that was.
Another reason why we want the leaves cut off is so it gets enough stem length so it can suck up water.
Yeah. If you have the leaves still on there, they'll actually just kind of rot underwater. So you can see here how this leaf that's left just kind of sticks on there. And then we're going to look underwater here and look at that. See how that one is just kind of sitting right in the water there? So within just a matter of about a week, that will actually start to grow roots out of it. And you can see right there, we do kind of need to top this off a little bit, but it'll grow roots and it'll actually continue to grow out of the back there. And so that's a good way to do this. A lot of people have asked us where we get this spiral bamboo. They actually sell it on Amazon. We've done quite a few videos on unboxing videos. We'll put one in the description. The way that they grow this is actually laid on its side, because bamboo always grows up to the straight up, to the sky, right?
Yes.
So they lay it on its side like this, and it starts to grow sideways. It'll kind of like curve up, and then they turn it, and then they turn it, and they just keep turning it every few days or a few weeks or whatever. And you can see here it grows an inch or so, and then they turn it, it grows an inch or so, they turn it. Then they stand it back up, and after they cut it off right here, these little sprouts kind of come out of it. And it's really, really cool. So since we cut that one off, that one will be fine. It'll just kind of seal off just like the other ends and everything here do. And these will continue to grow. You can kind of see little knots will form out of the sides here, just like this one here. They may grow sideways, but they'll always turn up. So see how they come out like this? Look at this one here. Came out of the bottom and it turned around and it went straight up, and they'll continue to grow up. Some of these have, this one over here has quite a bit on it.
It's very interesting DNA, like how the willow tree, it slumps over and all the branches go to the ground.
Yeah, every tree is different. Bamboo happens to be one of those ones that grows straight up. So as you can see here, we've got 10 of those. We just made it to get ready. That one's in there, that'll grow roots. As these other ones grow, we'll just kind of trim them one at a time, and they'll just continue to grow. And the next follow-up we do on this, we are going to be taking some of this Anubias. We are going to be replacing some of this Anubias. Did survive the whole leak and everything, really good. This one in the front still blows my mind. Look how this one's doing. Look at the roots on that thing. It's coming down in here. It's going to reach the cave where the galaxy plecos are. We do think that the other male is in there and does have more eggs too, by the way. So that's really cool. So we'll see what happens there. But some of the Anubias did, like this one right here didn't survive. Unfortunately, kind of tried, but we have a whole bunch of them in here. We got a big, huge wad of them up here, and they're just kind of floating around all over the tank. So we're going to be replacing some of those on that whole stump thing, getting that situated, and then making some avatar rocks that are going to hang down in these areas and all that. And we'll put some links in the description, kind of how we did this tank and how we rebuilt it again and everything like that. But those follow-ups will be coming up. And you can see, obviously, that'll look really cool. So same thing we've done on tanks before, and we just did it like on Brutus's tank not too long ago. And that works out really well for him. We don't even have to do water changes on his little tank because he's like the only guy in there. But that'll just keep filling that up, and as they grow, we'll cut them up. And then we're actually going to be doing that on the Green Lantern tank over here. Haven't done a follow-up on this tank in a while. It's doing magnificent, and these guys are doing awesome. We love this tank. And you can see that this bamboo, you can see it's getting very long there as well. And some of these, look at all these shoots coming out of these guys here. So we're actually going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be cutting. This one has a DIY corrugated lid. We're probably not going to do it to the end ones here, but right behind the light here, we're going to be doing the same exact thing. We're going to take those ones that were left over, and we're going to cut and put them here in between these two lights, so that when these guys grow, we'll just put them all up here, and this whole thing will be just filled with bamboo right here underneath the Green Lantern motto, right? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
it's looking really good.
I like it. It looks nice.
Jess kind of tired. You had practice tonight and everything after school, right?
Yeah, I am pretty tired.
It's tired, but you got your fancy clippers there.
Yes.
Those are like...
They used to be red, but they're pink, almost white.
They faded because we left them outside. They look pink. Yeah. Got your fancy pink
We've
clippers.
done so much stuff with this.
So we're going to be doing that one next, and we'll kind of show you how we do that one. And then after that, we're going to be working on this guy doing the avatar rocks and everything. And then we're going to be talking about this guy more because we're going to be doing a bunch of work on this. And of course, we've done quite a few follow-ups on this tank and everything and these beautiful guys. And we're going to be rescaping and working on that one and doing a whole bunch of stuff on that too. So anyway, guys, that's how we do our bamboo planters. Little DIY deal, very cheap, very inexpensive. Helps to take nitrates out. Becomes part of your whole decoration and everything like that. And again, we'll put links in the description, all that kind of stuff. And we're probably going to do a feeding video on these guys actually pretty soon. In fact, we may even just set that up tonight and then release that one next because they're hungry. Look at them.
Yeah, George from Aquaballs, if you're watching this, they're doing good. They've gotten a lot bigger recently.
Yeah.
They're pretty healthy.
We got these guys from George, from Aquaballs. It's tiny little babies.
You don't realize when fish grow because, you just don't realize it, but
it happens
I
slowly,
remember
right?
they're really small and like white and blue, and now they've got their black stripes and they're a lot bigger.
Yeah, they're really doing fantastic. They're absolutely beautiful. So thanks again, George. We'll put links in the description for George, for Aquaballs. And then we're going to set this up to a feeding video, and then we'll release that in a few days just so you guys can see it meet because it is pretty fun. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.